What's up, family? And welcome back to another episode of the Melanin Wellness Podcast. It's your girl, Ori, and this is the place where healing is a vibe, growth is strength, and we don't gatekeep the glow up over here. I'm happy, as always, to be here with you, especially during this series for men's health. This is such an important series, and I am so grateful to be able to be here with you and be contributing to this very worthy conversation. But before we dive into today's episode of Real Talk, we always start with a quick moment of gratitude. So go ahead, take a breath, close your eyes. If you can, unless you're driving, then keep them eyes open, baby. We ain't got time for that. We are not stunt doubles, okay? And let us ground ourselves. Today, I am grateful for the courage to have hard conversations. The kind that don't always come with easy answers, but come with growth, healing, and freedom. And I'm extra grateful for every man out there who is brave enough to do the work, feel the feels, and redefine strength on his terms. Now let's get into it. So today's episode, family, is specifically for the men in our lives, husbands, brothers, sons, uncles, friends, cousins, even the guy at the gym who always gives you the what's up nod, but never breaks eye contact with the dumbbells. Yes, you too, sir. We are talking about emotional intelligence. And no, it's not a therapy buzzword, nor is it a sign of weakness. It's a power move, a flex, if you will. It's a skill that will level up your relationships, your career, and most importantly, your inner peace. And we are all out here looking to get that inner peace. So let's break down emotional intelligence real quick. So emotional intelligence, otherwise known as EQ, is your ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions and be able to do the same with others. It's knowing when you're triggered before you have that blow up. It's having the words to say, I'm feeling overwhelmed, or this is too much, instead of disappearing or lashing out. It's the grown man version of self-control, self-awareness, and empathy. Add all that up, and it creates this magic called emotional maturity. Now, we all know that, that is something that builds over time. But these skills are learned skills. And most of us were not taught these learned skills, especially in our community. But hopefully today we can help change that narrative moving forward. Now, I'm going to say something that might rattle a few cages. And it might make a few of y'all click off this episode, and that's okay. You'll come back. A man with emotional intelligence is far more powerful than one who just bottles it all up until he explodes. The whole real men don't cry energy, that's played out. Like, that's so tired. I'm so tired of hearing it. We're grown now. Healing is in. Healing is a power move. Healing is sexy. We have heard all of these. Man up. Stop acting like a girl. Boys don't cry. Y'all remember hearing those messages as you grew up? I can remember hearing those, being told to my brothers as I grew up. You know what I'm saying? And those were messages that I chose not to pass on to my sons. Well, it's worked well for them. I'll just say that. Those phrases did not build strong men. They built emotionally unavailable men. And we now have a generation and generations of men walking around with unprocessed trauma, broken relationship, and anxiety that all shows up as what? Anger. That ain't strength. That's survival. And that is a mode that we can no longer afford to live in on a consistent basis. Survival mode, we done with that. We're going to step into thriving mode. So you might be saying, all right, that's all good. I hear that. I feel that. I'm with you. But what does emotional intelligence in real life actually look like? So let's do it. You got a pen and piece of paper? Okay. If you don't, that's okay. You can always rewind and come back. All right, so I'm gonna give you 4 things. Number 1, name your emotions. I'm not just mad, I'm disappointed, I'm sad, I'm hurt. I'm not just tired, I'm burned out, I'm overwhelmed. Language is power. And if you can name it, you can navigate it. That's one of the things that I teach my sons and, my daughter as well. When you are feeling something, say what it is. Because the more that you refuse to give it a name, the more power that it has over you. So when you make the decision to say, I am overwhelmed, not just, I'm just so annoyed, I'm just so irritated, that's something different. I've been guilty of that one myself, y'all. And so, but when I say I'm overwhelmed, that gives a different message. That also gives me permission to lay my burdens down. So using the correct language is important. Number 2, pause before reacting. I don't know how many of you guys, before I get into this a little bit, I don't know how many of you guys have gotten an email from somebody while you were at work that just irritates your soul. And you can't respond how you might respond if y'all was outside. Yeah, that's what we're talking about here. So you want to breathe, assess, then respond. Don't react. That 1 second of pause can save you from saying something or doing something that you might regret later. This happens all the time. I get mass amounts of emails, I'm telling you, about this show. And it gets overwhelming sometimes. And there are people who do not know proper etiquette and they will send me an email and it will say something. The way it translates real crazy. Okay. And I'm like, wait, did they just really? So I often stop, pause, breathe. Sometimes I even have to just walk away from it and then come back. Now, we can't always walk away from something in the moment, but if you take that 1 second to just take a deep breath and reassess and then speak, watch how different things will go. And that is particularly difficult to do, especially when we are in the heat of an argument, especially with our significant others. But I promise you, it will change your relationship if you do that. Number 3, listen with empathy. Okay. You're listening not to fix it, not to debate it, not to respond, but just to understand. That's one big issue in relationships, romantic and otherwise, is that often we are listening to respond, or especially men, y'all like to fix things. Like y'all just want to fix it. Y'all just want to make it better. But sometimes that's not always what's needed. Sometimes it's just about understanding and being a sounding board. And number 4, take accountability. Nothing to me is sexier than taking accountability. Like, okay, my bad. I was wrong. I hurt you. And for that, I apologize. I want to do better. That's not weak. That is complete boss energy. That is complete boss energy. And, my husband and I, we've been through a lot of things. We've been together for over 20 years. So needless to say, we've been through some stuff, y'all. And there was once upon a time in which he wouldn't take accountability and we would argue one way. But as he began to level up and mature and he began to take accountability, our arguments would change. Our disagreements definitely are different now. And like I said, that's boss energy right there. Now, ladies, this part is for you too. I know that this is for the fellas, but if you have a man or men in your life who are learning to lean into their emotional intelligence, support that. It's a beautiful thing. Don't shame it. Don't say you're being soft. Don't say you're acting like a punk. Don't say you're being too sensitive. Now, let's not get it twisted. I need a caveat right there because, fellas, listen, ain't nobody trying to have nobody sitting around crying all the time, okay? Like, all the time. Wait a minute now. That's a little carried away, okay? We're not saying that that's what we want. We're not saying that that's what you should be doing. And if you have a lot of things that you do need to cry about, that's where your therapist is going to come in so that you can truly let it all out now, because crying is cleansing. Okay. But it's going to get difficult for us to communicate with you if all you're doing is crying. All right. So let's just caveat that there. Okay. Emotional intelligence, ladies, is not a personality flaw. It is an absolute gift. It's emotional safety and it's sexy AF. And to be honest, ladies, we are always talking about that we want to feel safe enough to feel soft and feminine and let our guards down. Get your man to emotional intelligence and you'll have it. That soft life. Ugh. All right, fellas, I'm going to give you some quick tools for building that EQ muscle. So start a feelings log. Nobody has to see it. I got one. My husband has one. My sons, like my daughter, like we all got one. Just jot down what you're feeling at the end of the day. You don't got to overthink it, think it, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to see this except for you, unless you choose to give permission. But this is just for you. Next, practice some deep breathing exercises when your emotions start to rise. There is a method that I have talked about on the show repeatedly. It is called the 5-5-5 method, where you are going to inhale for a count of 5, hold it at the top for a count of 5, and then exhale it for the count of 5. You will be able to feel your nervous system relax. It's an amazing method, amazing tool. Then also you want to learn to say, I need a moment, instead of going silent for hours. One of the things that, men tend to do is you guys tend to disengage when you are overwhelmed, when you have anxiety, when you're upset. You will just not talk. Saying I need a moment says, okay. And sometimes you need to define what that moment is. So whether it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, instead of escaping, take your moment, breathe, and then revisit the situation, whatever it is, so that you can work it out and not bottle things up. Finally, therapy. I just touched on that a little while ago. Dope. So dope. Not weird. I have a therapist. My husband's had therapists. We've had therapists together. My kids have had therapists before. A therapist is a personal trainer for your emotional muscles. Okay? All right, so fellas, don't let this world continue to lie to you, playing in your face. Emotional intelligence is not a soft spot. It's your superpower. And it doesn't take away from your masculinity. It actually adds depth to it. You can still be strong, solid, sexy, and feel your damn feelings. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, we all got feelings, right? About something. But before I go, a quick reminder, I have linked some helpful resources in the show notes, as I have done this entire series, and I will continue to have those in the show notes. If you're listening and if you're watching on YouTube, check the description box below. Those same resources are going to be there for you. These tools are here to help support you on your healing journey. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If this episode resonated, please share it with a man you love. Let's normalize emotional intelligence for our kings too. Always, family. Stay well, stay whole, stay you, and I'll see y'all next time. Take care, family.